truly believe that it takes one person to stumble onto your Instagram, one person to hear this podcast, and then they tell a friend, and they tell a friend. And, like, honestly, if it makes a difference in 3 people's lives, that's fucking 3 more than it was.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You know?
We talked about that.
I know that we're not going to fucking change the world overnight. But, like, if I can have this ripple effect, like I tell people, man, if I could change, what's your fucking excuse? I've done it all. I've been on both sides of the law. I've been a soldier. I've been a fucking convict. I've done drugs. I've done shitty things. I've done good things. So, like, there's no excuse to me that you can't figure out a new way, but it takes work. And a lot of people aren't willing to put in the work, and they just say, fuck it. Like, am I going to convince my 82-year-old dad that, you know, values he's had his whole life? No. I have to accept him for who he is and know that I don't agree with some of the stuff, but I'm not changing him. It's too far gone. But if it's not too far gone, what can you do today? Today. Not tomorrow. What can I do today to make one slight change to be a fucking better person and start going down a different road and start to have more values and more, and ask myself, is somebody that supports Trump a bad person? Is somebody that's a cop, all of them are bad? You know?
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
And devil's advocate, like, if my friends are gonna vote for Biden because they hate Trump, does it make them dumb? No.
Right.
No. That's they like we.
That's the great thing about being an American.
America, we respect other people's religion. You're like, oh, you're Muslim, you're Christian, you're Jewish. You're like, yo, don't fuck with people's religion, bro. Like, that's not your fucking business. But your politics, like, you should die. Like, like what the fuck?
It's causing so much on social media with everybody, like, just at each other's throats over what?
And the weirdest thing for me is, like, no bullshit, the weirdest thing for me totally is that if you put us in a room with Trump and Biden, they would just, like, sit in a corner together and be like, who the fuck are these dudes, man? Like, I mean, we wouldn't do it. They'd be like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
I mean,
like, we don't want anything to do with these dudes.
It's all agreed upon.
I wish we could interview the two of them at the same time.
Like,
they wouldn't do it.
No,
you got to
like,
connect, hook it up.
We have nothing in common with them. Like, growing up, I got nothing in common with you. They're both from up north. I got nothing.
I mean, who even thinks, you know what, I can run America?
Nobody.
Like, you have to be a little bit fucked off in the head to even think,
well,
I can run a state, I can run the country. Like,
I got 3 years talking.
You're a bit of an asshole. You know?
Yeah, well,
I'll give it a fucking shot. Give me a month. You know? Let me try it out. Let me do 30 days.
I'll take July.
Yeah.
Nah,
I don't want that job.
Shit.
I don't want
Trump's been. They had. It was reported there has been 25 assassination attempts on Trump already. 25. That's crazy.
Why don't we hear about it?
I haven't heard
Because
about one.
I know.
Of course.
No.
Well, I heard about he was doing a press briefing the other day.
The White
That-
House shooting.
yeah, there was a
and
shooting
they had to
outside.
fucking.
But if you've been to DC lately, dude, that's
Yeah,
not
when isn't there a
surprising.
shooting
Like, that's
in
not
fucking
surprising.
DC?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, oh, there was a shooting in Chicago. I'm like, at what time? Like, you know, it's like.
How many this hour?
Yeah.
Did you guys happen to see though the African American lady running for Congress in Baltimore that put out that ad?
Oh yeah. Where she's walking through the city.
I don't know her. I didn't like her face, but I don't know her. I just would
Just
never
had one of those faces
that
where
I
you're
wouldn't
like,
vote
"Fuck
for.
you." Yeah.
But the message, I was like,
Right.
she was walking through like the ghettos of Baltimore and was like, yeah, Democrats don't care about black people. I was like, damn.
We gotta
Damn,
get past
Kanye.
that.
All right.
I know Kanye, right? Holy shit.
I'd vote for Kanye though.
Stop.
I would. I would. 100%.
So
Kanye
That would be the
vote.
ultimate hoax. That would just be like everybody just to like.
I would vote for
Could
Kanye.
you imagine?
And I hope that he did like a Sunday sermon, dude. Just him live TV, just singing.
with his little white piano.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'd be like, that's my president. That's ye.
Oh man, I voted for you.
Oh my God! Imagine the first lady who's got a fucking porn out. You're just like, Jesus.
I mean, honestly, it's not fucking crazy at this point.
No.
Imagine it's like we've come to a place where
We literally-
that's it. What happened to like politicians though? Like, I mean, you know, again, they're insane no matter what. But what
they're
happened
losing.
to that?
They're losing power, and they're trying to regain it by
But see,
instilling
Where's the
control.
Ronald Reagans at?
Well, they lost power.
I mean, the
because
fact that even
they're
Trump
own-
was a fucking option is
they're
bananas.
owned. They're bought out.
They're bought out. Yeah.
They're all bought out. So like,
We don't even talk
big-
about
the
how much
far-
are bought by China, though.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I don't even.
But that's
I'm
the
not trying to get killed this week.
No,
so
but
we won't
that's the
even go,
unforget.
but-
Like, people are not. No one talks about China. Everyone's like Russia. This. I'm like, dude. Okay, let's imagine this conspiratorial theory. What if our two political parties are fighting on behalf of two other
Yes.
communist nations?
Yes.
Right. So let's just say Trump and Russia and Trump and Russia. Well, then Democrats and China, 100%, 100%.
They're all in
just
bed
talking
with
about
somebody.
COVID-19. Right now, we can't air this episode because I
Yeah.
said the word.
Put your mask
fucked
on.
it up.
Yeah.
Go
No,
ahead.
I mean, it has a patent. And the U.S. patent clerks, like Article 35B, I'm paraphrasing, but I'll
I'm
re-look
looking
it
that up right now.
Yeah, it says that you cannot patent a byproduct of nature. You can't patent an animal
Yeah.
or a germ or anything. So COVID-19 is a biologically engineered organism,
Yep.
which means it was made in a lab. There's no way it could come from a bat because there's just the fact that it has a patent on it.
That's fucking.
Period.
just
And
on the-
nobody
I
talks
literally
about that.
never knew
Let's hear
that.
it.
Just
Yeah,
on the
we
China
got some
thing.
Of course
facts.
you wouldn't
Just,
know
well, no,
that.
just on, I'm not
Let's
going to
hear
throw
some
any
facts
facts. I'm
real
going to throw
quick. Get a
somebody
fact
out there
checker.
on Instagram.
All right.
So Professor PROF_useless17. Just go follow that guy on Instagram. He's just giving all the China stuff.
Okay. All right.
Just
You
giving
ready?
all
Yeah.
of it out there.
Well,
And
so
it's,
Rewind to 47 minutes. Point.
yeah. But no, man, we don't. And that's something we don't ever talk about. Is that there's a lot of stuff going with China right now with aides who are literally working for U.S. politicians who are also working in China, and it's like,
Well, because they have so much money.
oh yeah,
I mean, you think that? So one of the things that's is really strange about the whole lockdown in Melbourne, Australia, that we were talking about, is that my friend buys properties there and like develops them and like has renters and they whatever. All of the competition is Chinese. Basically, the Chinese bought tons and tons and tons and tons of. They did this in downtown LA, so. And they also bought all the ports in Greece they own.
Mm-hmm.
They bought all of them.
Them
Yeah,
and
well,
Tom Hanks.
yeah. It's
No, they probably
They
bought
bought
Tom
Tom
Hanks
Hanks.
too.
Something else that was done by the Japanese in World War II that China's done that we don't talk about a lot either is so we don't talk about the U.S. Pacific pool that we have, right? So the U.S. is all in Pacific. China obviously wants more control in Pacific where they at. They actually have man-made engineered islands off the coast of China that they built themselves, and those are interesting to look at as well. There's a lot of good stuff out there with China. I'm a big China fan.
Yeah, I see that.
I know where you're going.
China.
I know I was going to do it earlier. You started talking. I was like, I'll leave it. China.
All right. Well, we're going to switch gears real quick. And we got, this is kind of just called the bullshit hour. But I've had people ask me about this tattoo on my hand, which is called the Valnute. And what this means is it's I live, I die, I live again, right? And it was, it's anything Nordic is closely related to white supremacy, sadly. However, it's also closely related to guys that have served, right? Yeah. Because we're warriors, we're of that warrior, whether it's Spartan, Nordic stuff. So my hands say Valhalla awaits me. This says victory of Valhalla. And for me, the reason I grew up in a very strict, like Catholic upbringing where I never was, but my family was. And I never grasped the Jesus thing and all that stuff. When I went to the military and I had this camaraderie and all this stuff, and then later on when I got sober, where I had to find this higher power. Jesus didn't work for me. Picturing a guy with a white beard and a Mickey Mouse shirt didn't work for me. And I just had to find something that worked for me. And I looked into anything, whether it was Egyptian, Greek, Roman, Nordic, where it was gods and goddesses and battle and stuff. So to me, what this represented was, so it's a rebirth. It's got 9 points, which is 9 months to be born. So for me, it's I lived, I died in addiction, and now I get to live again. And that's what that symbolized to me. And, I have heathen across my stomach because I don't believe in any real religion. I believe that, like, you wake up, you be a good fucking human being, and you do whatever you want. You pray to whatever God you want, whether you want to be Muslim, Christian. I feel like at 16, you should get all the books and then decide from there what makes sense to you.
Yeah.
And if I know people, the Bible speaks to their heart. That's awesome. It's not me, though. And that's fine that that's you, and it should be fine that I believe. I dig gods and fighting and wars and goddesses and shit. That shit is cool to me and makes more sense than 12 white guys walking through Egypt with no SPF. And I know, Matt, that you
I don't
have.
think they were white.
I don't
Very
either.
controversial.
I know.
However,
but that's what we're
hate
told.
to be the bearer of historical fact.
We're supposed to
and
believe
probability.
that 12 white guys walked through fucking Egypt and just kicked it with no sunburns.
But that's what makes this country so fucking great.
Yeah.
You can believe in.
So,
worship
Matt,
if you
I want
want.
to ask you because, I know you got Thor's hammer, you got Odin, you got a bunch of stuff. What does that signify to you?
you know, it took me years to find something that I wanted to put on my body permanently, and I wanted it to be a dedication to warriors, to all of them, all the guys I served with, all the guys I continue to serve with the police force. And that's what I came up with. You know, I saw closely that, you know, the Viking lifestyle, the Nordic lifestyle was, you know, you fight and you go to a place when you die in battle, you go to Valhalla where warriors are welcomed, you know, and I don't want to be, wherever I go after, I want to be with warriors. I want to be with those guys I fought side by side with, because those are the best days of my life.
I want to be with shield maidens.
But do you ever get that? Do you ever get people you have racist shit?
No, never.
That's weird to me. I've never heard
Not
that.
yet.
And
Well,
and as someone
of-
who spent extended amount of time in Scandinavia,
Yeah.
with Scandinavians,
I mean,
it's not that.
it's-
It's the AB.
It's
So I
yeah,
was
it's
explaining
all
to
it's
Aaron.
all amongst the Asatru community where they're
Mhm.
like, this does not mean hate. This means, you know, a certain thing, and people will see this all the time and think that, you know,
Do
just
you think it's
assume.
because you're a felon?
but where do they
Well,
get
no,
that from?
in prison.
Is it other? Is it white supremacists that you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So,
in
they
prison,
like that.
they go with like it's all these white gods and these warriors, and they
Okay.
took out the ice giants, be it black colored, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So Odin is the father, and Thor, and all this stuff, and everything very Viking related has a close tie to white supremacy. Sadly, and then people that really are into the Asatru, which is what would be considered the religion, try to dispel that and be like, you know, because like you said, you go to Scandinavian shit, that's not how they are. They do this
Yeah.
shit because it's just like you grow up here and you're taught about Jesus or whatever it is. There it is a very thing of, you know, to me it was like if you did something before battle because you thought it was a homage to the gods to stay safe in the battle. I mean, these people wouldn't sail, they wouldn't eat, they wouldn't do certain things without a certain sacrifice to these gods. That's how much they believed in them.
Sounds like the Democrats.
Yeah. But yeah,
we have
so-
fun on the show sometimes.
But for me,
gang.
because I've been to prison and because I have tattoos and shit, people always
Just assume.
will assume that I did that based on race. And
Well,
I actually got it after prison because with breath work, I'm the heathen healer. Because like it's okay. It's okay for me to have the beliefs I do, and I don't look down on you for having yours, but don't spoon feed me your Jesus stuff because it's just
Well,
not
dude,
for me.
I have a in the center of my chest, like my boy tattooed the Illuminati thing. It's not exactly it. It's like some version of it.
I knew
And
it.
I had a big space in the center of my chest, and I had tattooed everywhere else. And he was like, "Yo, I think this will fit." And I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "I don't know. It's like some.
It's on the dollar bill.
He's like, "It's
Illuminati
something
shit,
from
yeah.
the dollar. I saw it on the internet, so I drew it up." I was like, "Oh, sick." So I've had this thing for years, and I like I have like shirtless pictures and stuff. Yeah, because I'm trying to get laid and all that, and I'm a slutty piece of shit. And dude, people go crazy. I have had
Don't
to
at me
explain
unless you're
this.
nasty.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh my god, you're in the Illuminati." I'm like, "Listen, bro. If I was in the Illuminati, do you think that I would be saying the shit that I'm saying and talking about the things I'm talking about
Yes, 100%.
and
Yes,
exposing the
something
things?
the
Yeah,
Illuminati would say.
absolutely.
That's
He's
something-
one of them.
That's something the Illuminati would say. Tommy.
That's what they would say. I'm like, listen, guys.
Dude, yeah. I get.
I mean,
I
yeah.
get shit though for mine.
Yeah.
Like fucking. I got told that because I had that Stoned Ape Theory tattoo, and they were like, "You got a gorilla on it." I'm like, "It's not racist, bro.
Racist.
Calm down." Like, what are
What
we
is
serious?
it? Wait, is a gorilla racist?
Yeah, you
Well,
can't.
saying that
yeah,
it's
you
a
know.
black gentleman.
Yeah.
So if you
Because
so
my
basically,
guess.
mine's in the suit. It's a Stoned Ape Theory tattoo. So
oh, okay.
Oh, what a racist! Look at he's showing it.
So why would you, if you
Look,
had
he
that
sold it.
tattoo,
right. I have no.
why
idea.
would it make? That's so confusing.
People just want to
People are
base
weird.
their.
They want to find
know?
dude. Somebody, but
Man,
Like-
I'm
like-
so glad I'm not white, bro. Holy shit!
hey,
dude.
I'll be
The
honest with
shit
you.
they
Come
gotta
to, come
deal
to
with that.
Portland, bro.
Hey,
I don't even want.
They
I'll
know
be
what's
honest.
good.
Holy
I had a
shit.
lady. I had a lady walk up in the restaurant and was like, so like I guess from this angle maybe, but she was like, "Why do you have Adolf Hitler tattooed on your arm?" And I
Theodore
turned it,
Roosevelt?
And I was like, "That's the." And she was like, "I am so sorry."
I thought that was.
Dude,
I thought that was.
that's the
But
problem
what
with
blew
it.
my mind was I was like, "That's cool if you thought that, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
why would you walk over to me and be like, "Is that Adolf?" Like, what did you think you were going to do? What if it was Adolf?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
what
I
if-
don't
She
know.
was gonna
You know
fuck
what? Yeah.
you up.
Well,
Yeah,
people
yeah,
don't
I
mind
was
their
like, why-
business anymore.
People, yeah,
But
He's
that's
like, is that
okay.
Adolf Hitler? Step outside with me, sir. Let's go.
Right? She
I
does
thought that
Krav
was the- I
McGraw.
thought
You
that-
actually gives you a good fight. You're like, Jesus
smokes
Christ.
me with a Jew hammer real
Yeah.
quick. It's over.
Right?
I thought that
she
was,
puts you in an arm bar on you, and she's like, "Wait a second." I'm like, "It's Teddy
It's
Roosevelt."
Teddy. It's Teddy.
I'm sorry, sir.